Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In this video we're going to be doing a blind tasting to see if Chinese matcha can compete with Japanese matcha. I have always told clients in the past and anybody interested in matcha to avoid Chinese matcha. Even within Japan there is a huge variety in quality grades, from the very low grade culinary matchas all the way through the ceremonial grades of which there is no specific definition, and up to the very pinnacle top grades of matcha. So there's a huge variation in quality, but Chinese matcha have always historically been very subpar in comparison. And we have just received in our Masters Matcha 2021. For those of you who don't know, every year we select our ceremonial matcha, which is coming, and a Masters Matcha, which is just a tiny batch of the most exclusive matcha produced by a family of matcha makers that go back generations. It is made from the Uji Hickory cultivar. This year it's exclusively 100% Uji Hickory, and that is, almost unheard of even in the specialty matcha world. So we just received that in. I went to the warehouse to go pick it up, and coincidentally at the warehouse was waiting a parcel for me from a producer that has been emailing me for the past couple of months, telling me that I need to try his matcha. So I wrote back saying, listen, I'm not really interested in Chinese matcha. You're welcome to send samples, but I'm not really interested. He sent a list of matcha, all the different grades. I said, look, just send me your absolute top grade matcha and I'll give it a try. And just coincidentally, when I went to pick up this Masters matcha, this Chinese matcha was there. So I thought, great, let's do a blind tasting. So I've asked Celine to empty both matchas into tins. You can see they're labeled tin 1 and tin 2. Is it that way now? Tin 1 and tin 2. And she's written in here which one is the Chinese matcha and which one is the Japanese matcha. Now I realize that this is not a very fair comparison, because we are comparing the Chinese matcha to the absolute, this is the best matcha that we could possibly find in Japan, 100% Uji Hickory. So I really don't expect that the Chinese matcha is going to compete with that Masters matcha. I would be absolutely surprised. Well, look, if I can't tell the difference, or if the Chinese matcha, if I pick the Chinese matcha out, then that means one of two things. Either, number one, my ability to evaluate tea quality is shot, it's gone, and I should just retire. Or two, China has not just stepped up, but just catapulted themselves to a whole new realm, unheard of in recent years. So that would be the case if I can't find a winner, or if I pick the Chinese matcha out of these two. But even just comparing the Chinese matcha with other matchas that I have tasted this year, I can still give you an idea of how it's faring. All right, let's dive in. I don't know which one's which. Let's open these up. So this is number 1 and this is number 2. And the only thing Celine said was that I'm going to be surprised, and she's absolutely right, because they both look pretty vibrant and pretty green. But right off the bat, this one here looks stellar. I have to say though that they both look like really high quality matches. The color, which is not the only indicator, it's a nice indicator, but please don't just follow color. You can get incredibly high grade matches that are totally sublime, that are slightly lighter than lower quality, in my opinion, matches which are more green. So don't let that be the only judge. But if we're looking at color, you can see this one is a little bit more vibrant, but they both look immaculate. Let's so I'm very surprised at that. That's an interesting one. So let's do the classic paper test. Oh, that was a mess. You can see how vibrant they both are. They are both incredibly vibrant greens. It's actually very surprising to me. Okay, so let's do that and use a different finger for this. Yeah, so you can see that this one here is a slightly more sort of emerald color, a bit more vibrant, a little bit darker, but they are very, very close. And as I said, this color here looks really high quality. So, this could be the Masters matcha. Right, I'm going to put this aside. Let me just rub my hands a little bit, clean it up. Okay, so let's just not mess this up. I'm gonna blow matcha everywhere. Don't worry, I'll clean up later. Okay, so let's get the bowls in. Right, they are different bowls, so you could, the geeks amongst you may say, oh, it's gonna affect the flavor, this slightly reduced radius. Let's put it this way, if that small factor is going to affect whether or not I can pick a winner, then yeah, I would again say that the Chinese Matcha has done a stellar job. So I'm putting 2 scoops chashakus of matcha number 1 and 2 scoops of matcha number 2. Nothing discernible really in terms of texture. That one in the black bowl, you can really start to see that it is a more vibrant one. Okay, let's put both of these to the side here. Number 1 and number 2. Let's get our water hot. Actually, it's pretty much there. It's 77 degrees, so I think that's about right. So you can do your matcha between 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. That's about 160 to 175 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to try to do these at the same time. Let's see how I do. So we're going to do just a little bit of water just to make a paste in both. We'll see how the color changes once they've been whisked up a bit. Should really get another whisk because there's matcha on here, and if I go into this one, it's going to change it up. Let me quickly go and get another whisk. Got another whisk. So we'll stir this one up, make a paste as well. Okay. Clearly I put more water in that one, but it doesn't make any difference as long as we get a good paste. Now the color looks pretty similar, I have to say. Right, let's put in a shot. So normally I wouldn't be measuring water, but since we want to be very accurate here, I'm going to put 60 ml in. Just under 60 ml because we've put a splash of water already. So put that in both. Here we go. I have to say I'm very impressed by the color. No matter what, it's pretty impressive. Both of these have great color. Here we go. Stir both of these up. Right, so now that we've created a good solution, everything is taken off the whisks and from the sides, we can go into a whisking motion. So just a W shape, let's just whisk it up, and we can see how the froth compares between them. Looking good for this one here. Yeah, nice froth on that one. So I'm starting to think, you know, that's certainly, I mean, if I'd seen the color and had no comparison and just whisked it up, I would say that that looks close to the Master's Matcha. Let me not mix these up. So that's there and that's there. Well, okay, I can see that the crema on this one looks a bit finer. The froth looks a bit finer. The bubbles look a bit more that sort of jade green color compared with this one. This one looks darker, the froth, which I'm normally used to seeing sort of this color froth in comparison, but again, I mean, it's because I'm comparing them. If I had somebody just made this matcha for me, I don't know if I would have spotted that one looks, yeah, maybe. This definitely looks more like the classic sort of matcha froth color that I would expect, that sort of more milky jade green look. But again, they both look really good. So let's see, it all comes down to taste. Okay, here we go. Tasting, this was matcha number 1. See, I knew I'd mess it up. Okay, cheers everybody. Huh. Okay. If you had put this matcha in front of me and you had just offered it to me, I would say, yeah, it's a good quality matcha. I would be surprised, very surprised, if this was our master's matcha. It has a lot of creaminess. It has a soft texture. It's nicely rounded in the mouth. It leads to a very nice juiciness in the back sides of my tongue. Texture-wise, I'm very happy with it. It's the flavor of it that makes me think, I hate to commit myself, but that's the whole point of blind tasting. I cannot imagine that this is our master's matcha. Put it this way, I would be disappointed if it's our master's matcha. That's not to say that the taste is not good, because it actually really is a nice tasting matcha. It's not overly aggressive. It has creaminess. It has a sort of porridgey note to it, which I'm always looking for. It has a little bit of umami. I mean, it's good. It's a good matcha. There's something in the background, and there's a little bit of a rising bitterness, and something in the background which just is something that I don't think that I would select, but it is a very good matcha. Okay, let's taste this one, and I'm praying that this is the master's matcha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm super confident now. Amazing, savory, umami to creamy, slightly nutty, just much more involved in terms of the flavor. I'm getting like a white chocolate sweetness. I'm getting the porridge that I was getting there, but it's just amped up. It's just a lot richer, a lot more luxurious. In the mouth, the texture is uber creamy, super, super creamy. Just like velvety and creamy, and like it reminds me of like a creme caramel texture, or a tofu, but the silken tofu texture, slightly sticky whilst being thick and creamy. And the taste is just off the charts. Got some like peanut brittle and white chocolate confection mixed with this umami, but it's not brothiness. It's not like gyokuro brothiness. The umami is still in the. It's like a salted custard. You know, it's still in that dessert sweet note, if you know what I mean. It's very difficult to describe. It's savory, but a savoriness which is not like associated with like vegetable or meat soups. You know, it's much more a savoriness that I would equate to if I was making like a creamy porridge and I just added a bit of salt to the porridge. Really, really delicious. I'm convinced that this is the master's matcha. So we're going to do the reveal now, just to put me out of my misery. Again, if I'm wrong, then I will go pack up and retire. That's it, I'm done. But I have to say a lot of good things about this matcha here. I am shocked. So I'm expecting number one to be Chinese. Yeah, there you go. 1 China, 2 Japan. So clearly the Uji Hikari matcha had a more vibrant color, had a more like finer and more milky jade green crema, and the taste and texture was on another level compared with this one. But if you stack this up amongst my samples of high quality Uji matchas that I've tasted this year, I would not have picked that out as some bizarre outlier. I really wouldn't. I am amazed. I am amazed. It is a delicious matcha. It really is. And I would say that it's up there with some of the ceremonial matchas that I've been tasting over the past few years, for sure. I would very happily drink that matcha on a daily basis, no problem. And I would never have dreamed that I would say that about Chinese matcha. Now, I know nothing about this matcha. I know nothing about the cultivars or anything. It's literally what is your top grade matcha, so I can dive deeper and find out. Certainly, I'm sure that the price point is very different between the two. So does my advice still stand that you should avoid Chinese matcha? I have to say that on this tasting, no. I mean, I would need to learn more about the tea. I would need to learn more about, you know, how it was made, etc., etc. You know, you are consuming the leaf, so you've got to be very careful when you are selecting your teas. So there's plenty more investigation. But on taste and texture alone, I think that this is an excellent, excellent matcha. And I've never, ever said that in 20 years of tea sourcing. I've never said that about Chinese matcha. So hats off to the Chinese producer producing this tea, because at this rate, you know, some amazing matchas may well follow. Let me focus on the last few sips of this Master's matcha though. It's just this initial hit that as soon as it hits your tongue, it's like comforting, deep, rich, savory to sweet, and then it moves to like a very cooling finish, like lemony, but not yet. Like just the aroma of lemon, no acidity, of course, but the aromatics of sweet lemon oil and like sweet basil and sweet lemon oil as a finish, and very, very cooling underneath my tongue, on top of my tongue, through my down my throat as I breathe. It feels very cooling. It's something that I don't really remember from previous batches of Master's matcha. I mean, some of the best matcha that you can ever taste. But that just is a testament to how good this matcha is, that I can drink these in the same sitting and still call this one a tasty matcha. I am shocked, I am surprised. You can tell the difference between highest quality Japanese matcha and highest quality Chinese matcha, but if you put me on a blind tasting with sort of high quality ceremonial grade Japanese matcha and this, I think I would struggle to find a winner, which is a bit of a bombshell to me. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Master's Matcha is out if you want to give it a try. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.